I love coffee and I prefer coffee over tea most of the time, like all the time. But when you're physically and mentally exhausted, like after a 11-hour drive, coffee doesn't do anything when compared to what a masala chai does for you. At least for me. I didn't want to drink coffee after that. I didn't even think about coffee after that drive. When I'm totally exhausted, I don't want too much caffeine in my body. I just want to drink something hot that doesn't have too much caffeine and go to sleep when it's time. If there is a light hint of spices in that hot drink, it's a bonus. Maybe it's the Indian in me talking about spices. In other words, I just want to drink some tea. Just tea, not chai tea. Just chai or just tea. Chai means tea. It's redundant if you call it chai tea. If you go to an Indian restaurant and order chai tea, you're probably going to get a weird look. They're not going to say anything to your face, but they'll definitely laugh at you behind your back. At least some of them will. I blame Starbucks for that naming. In this video, let's make some tea. I'm going to start with masala chai, and I'm making 2 cups of that. You can find the exact measurements in the description box or at the website as well. Add 2 cups of water to your saucepan and bring it to a boil while we add some spices for the tea. About half an inch of ginger. You can grate this if you want, or just pound it if you have a mortar and pestle. And you can peel the skin if you want, but I'm just going to wash it. Add that to the water and some spices as well. 6 to 8 green cardamom pods, 4 to 6 black peppercorns, 2 to 3 whole cloves, and half a cinnamon stick. You can adjust the quantity of all these spices according to your taste, but don't go crazy with the spices. You're making tea, not a curry. Crush them in the mortar and pestle and add that to the water. Let the ginger and spices boil for a few minutes before adding the tea. Just for about 3 to 5 minutes. 2.5 tablespoons of loose tea. I'm using just regular Indian loose tea here. I've tried different brands of tea, but I like Taj Mahal more than any other brand. You can find this in pretty much any Indian store. And I've tried Vadam loose leaf tea as well in the past, even that was good. I don't think I have to mention this, but this video is not sponsored by Taj Mahal or any other brand. You can use any loose leaf tea. You can use tea bags as well if you want, but you may have to use 2 to 3 tea bags for each tablespoon of loose tea. Let the tea boil for about 5 minutes and add your choice of sweetener. I'm using sugar, you can use honey or agave as well. I added about 2 tablespoons of sugar. I don't like it too sweet, so you may have to add more sugar according to your taste. Let that boil for a minute and let that sugar dissolve, and add 3/4 cup of whole milk. I don't like it too creamy, so I don't want too much milk. You can add more milk or less milk according to your taste. Let the milk come to a rolling boil and let it boil for another 5 to 8 minutes and serve. Before you do that, give it a taste and adjust the sugar according to your taste. And of course, you have to strain this. Use a fine mesh strainer. You don't want any tiny loose tea particles in your tea. And usually in India, tea is served in a glass tumbler, something like this. You can buy these glasses on Amazon, but I didn't want to buy these just for this one video. Instead, I stole this glass from a friend. Well, I asked her and she couldn't say no. And this tea was really good. It's nothing new for me. I knew that this was going to be good. And that's the masala chai. You can use a similar method to make the iced teas, chai latte or anything else if there are any. It's the same thing, just don't add the milk. And you can also add any spices you want. For this, I'm adding ginger, green cardamom and a cinnamon stick. I'm keeping this kind of sweet. In other words, I'm not adding any black pepper or cloves to this. I don't like any spiciness in cold brews. You can also add some orange peel to this if you want. And then goes the tea. I thought of adding tea bags for this, but I changed my mind at the last moment. I'm keeping this Indian. Add the tea, Let it steep for a few minutes and add the sweetener of your choice. And that's it. This is chai concentrate. Store it in the fridge and it'll stay good for at least 2 to 3 days, and use it whenever you want and for whatever you want. If you want to make hot tea, just heat it up and add milk according to your taste. This is hot milk. I frothed it using a cheap electric frother. And this is nothing but chai latte. You can also add some ground cinnamon or freshly grated nutmeg as well on the top. You can do the same thing for an iced chai latte as well. You can also add some vanilla extract as well. I added about half a teaspoon of that and grated some nutmeg as well on the top. And that's it. Usually I'm not a fan of cold brews, but I don't mind drinking this again. But I'm going to stick with my regular Earl Grey or Masala Chai or just black tea. Instead of coffee, try this Masala Chai once in a while. It's going to be different and you're going to like it. I'll see you next time.